Hi guys, Zach here and look, I'm at a Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a 3v3 match on the map Seaton's Clutch. I'm starting in the bottom left position playing as the Allies. Now on this map what you have is you have a thin strip of land connecting top and bottom, and that's where I'm going to be sending some of my infantry to start with. You can see those two infantry I'm going to send in that direction. I'm just sending another infantry just to scout out the ore, so when I build my ore refinery I can send my ore truck straight to the gems. But the main bulk of my infantry are going to go to that middle bit. Now you have water either side of the narrow strip of land, so it's a balance of like building tanks but also having naval support, because if people get cruisers either side of that narrow strip it can make it very difficult for your tanks in the middle, and you can just see me getting my infantry there and some of the other teams also sending troops in that direction. I'm also pretty certain that the other team will be doing the same thing at the top of the map. I haven't overproduced infantry, I don't think. I've just sent about, I think it was about 15 that I built, so I'm not too worried. Now I'm going to be getting my war factory down. I'm going to go for double war factory because my ore truck is collecting gems, so I can go for that increased building speed of other ore trucks and tanks a little bit earlier. And you can see my infantry there, and orange and red are also there a little bit above me. So I'm just going to send my infantry so they're around the same place. And now I'm getting my first ore truck out, which I'm going to send to that gem patch. And now I'm getting my second war factory. I'm going to get a power plant, and I'm going to get down my second ore refinery. I've just built an extra power plant there, but just to crawl a little bit closer to that other patch. And you can see with this ore truck that I've just got out now, I'm going to just get it to collect those gems. And I've just paused my building a little bit just so I can get my other ore refinery so I don't run out of ore before it's built. Yeah, you can see it's just going to get there. And then as soon as that ore refinery goes down, I'm just going to send that ore truck to it with a whole load of gems. I'm just going to be building another ore truck straight away, and now I can resume my tank building. What I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to be getting tanks to the middle strip of land, because it can really hurt you if you don't do that. And there you can see a yellow APC coming through, and we do have to be careful here because that APC could have well, I don't think I'll have a Tanya at this stage, but it could have engineers, so it's important to destroy that and not let it inside our base. If it had been full of engineers then it could take out a construction yard or something like that. And now we've got that extra ore refinery out, and I'm just going to be building another ore truck. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a good economy so I can start expanding on the water as well. So we'll send that ore refinery there. And now I'm going to be getting some destroyers out. Destroyers are very effective. They're probably more effective than cruisers in like when you've already got low numbers. And now we'll just go up a little bit and just see if any of the other teams are up there. See if they've made their way down that much. But we can see, yeah, there's yellow with some light tanks. So we're just engaging this a little bit. The light tanks obviously are less bulky than medium tanks. They do quite a bit of damage, but they do fall apart quite easily. And we're just whittling those numbers down and just applying a bit of pressure to that team at the top. And now you can see these destroyers coming away, but I'm going to have to pull back because Cyan are getting involved. Because when teams work together, they're always more effective, so it's really important that you don't like try and get in positions where it's 1v2. And you can see those destroyers started to provide a little bit of annoyance, but I'm going to have to pull back for this little time being. And you can see that yellow is coming in, but I've got red with me at this point, and yellow's the only one forwards, and he's having to pull back, so that's cost yellow a little bit there. He'll have lost a few more tanks than he would have liked. Certainly, and we're in a decent position. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start building that MCV, because what we have on this map is an island to the very left of the map which isn't connected by land, and what I want to do is I want to get a transport boat out there and be able to transport it to the island. Yeah, you can see we get an MCV straight away into that transport vessel, and it'll just give me more resources so I have more to spend. So we'll just get that transport ship up there. Hopefully we won't get attacked in this time. And you can see I've got that oil refinery building, so I'll be able to get it out as soon as I get that MCV deployed. And what's going to be important is I keep control of the sea, or I don't let him like get too much control, otherwise I could lose that island. And you can see my destroyer mass starting to build up a little bit, and it looks like Red might be doing something similar. I saw him with a transport ship, so he might be getting the right island, and that'll put us in a really good position because it'll just mean we have more resources, and the more resources you have, the more you can spend on tanks, destroyers, things like that, and that just gives a big advantage. And now you can see that Cyan has the MiGs, and they're coming in, and yeah, they almost destroyed my radar dome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a tech centre, because if I get a tech centre I'll be able to build gap generators. I'll also send some tanks up just to have a little bit of a fight here, and you can see yellow with the destroyers as well. So it's just yellow at the moment, so we can just fight them head on. You can see those destroyers also providing a little bit of support, but we're going to have to fight his destroyer mass with our tanks. And now you can see that green is coming in as well, so this might provide a bit of a nuisance. And I'm going to just pull back to where red is for the time being, because you can see that now yellow is starting to push forward. And I've lost, I think I've lost some power actually, so probably those MiGs coming in. So I'll get the power back up, and then I'll be able to start getting those gap generators, because that'll just give some... Just need the power first, just to make sure I don't run out of power. And we'll get those gap generators round so they can't see. I'm also a bit worried about my island to the left, because that'll be an easy target as well. But now you can see that destroyer mass is getting quite big from yellow. I'm going to need to pull back a little bit. And what I'm going to do is, I should have built it a little bit earlier. I'm going to get a naval yard, because you can see my ores stacking up, so I'll be able to have 2 producing destroyers. But now you can see that he hasn't really got the tank mass there to push through, but those destroyers will be doing quite a bit of damage. But I will be able to take some of them out with my with the tanks that are firing. You can see red firing on some of those destroyers, and it just gives me a bit of a chance to regroup on the sea, and then start sanding my my destroyers up. I should already say that aftermath units is switched on. So because it's switched on, you are at the max building speed when you do have 2 war factories or 2 naval yards. And now you can see red and orange also pushing up as well, and you can see my destroyer masters starting to build, and I'm going to be able to bring those, and they're going to be able to provide a little bit of support. I don't have so much anymore in the terms of tanks, they've all been destroyed because they were at the front. We're now going to go for the attack on yellow. There was a bit of shroud there, but now I think we've uncovered how big his naval force is, and it seems to be possibly, I don't know if he's got a couple more. I was going to say he might have a couple more than me, but you can see some of those destroyers are on low HP, and by targeting some of those down early, we're being able to get the upper hand. So I've got the bigger mass now, and we're just going to have to try and play this out. I'm going to have to pull back, because you can see he's got reinforcements coming in, and they're doing quite a bit of damage, so I'm going to need to pull back. You can see I've got some forces built up. I'm going to need to pull back and regroup. The important thing though is I don't give yellow time to do a lot of damage on land, and you can see now red getting that Tesla coil, and he's got some base defences in the middle of the map. It's important here though that I don't let those base defences get hammered, and you can see that tank mass also building up, and somehow that radar dome is still surviving. I'm also building another gap generator for my little island, because when they get satellite they'll be able to see where that is and send MiGs over and do a little bit of damage. But now we're engaging with yellow's destroyers again, and let's see how this goes, because he was attacking those red tanks, and it looks like we've got a decent mass. It seems to be going a bit back and forth, and now you can see those MiGs coming in from Cyan and doing a bit of damage to my naval force. But I still have a decent number, and now red is also building some submarines, and you can see there's a cruiser there, and that cruiser could be very dangerous because cruisers can do a lot of damage to buildings, and it's just a case of getting these destroyers, and that cruiser is down. And you can see right at the moment I do have the mass of destroyers. I've also got a lot of tanks which is currently blocking a couple of my oil refineries, so I'm going to be bringing those tanks to the middle. Yeah, and you can see red also bringing some destroyers in there. I'm going to put that gap generator up there so my island to the left is nice and safe. And yeah, you can see some of those. The problem with submarines is they're not very strong against destroyers, so they get taken out quite easily. Although they are hidden, I wonder if it'd be actually more beneficial to take the submarines, I guess, to his naval yards and then try destroying his naval yards instead. Because if you just destroy his naval yards, it slows his building speed. If he's only got one, and if he loses them, he's got a bit of time where he's not building anything. But now you can see I'm starting to push up, and he's only got 2 destroyers there, and that's not enough. But again, the MiGs coming in do a little bit of damage. Destroyers do fire on MiGs, but obviously when they're in combat with other destroyers, it doesn't quite work. And now you can see my tank mass there. We're fighting against cyan and green tanks in the middle. And I think yellow is appearing to focus completely on water at the moment. But I do have red helping me a little bit, both in the middle with tanks and also on the water with some submarines. And yeah, it's just about keeping on our toes at the moment and just being alert. We have to focus on both water and land. And it seems to be going all right for us at the moment. We seem to be holding our own against yellow. And those destroyers we're managing to whittle down, although those MiGs we're managing to keep pace with those destroyers. And I think this is where I realised something, is that when I looked at the bottom of the map, you can see the ore levels are much lower than the top. And I realised that actually if this goes on much longer, we will be in big trouble. And this is where I went for yellow completely. I just dived in and just go for all the main buildings. So let's see how we do here. You can see that yellow hasn't been building tanks and cyan's been focusing a little bit on air, so he doesn't have as many tanks available to help. And I just dived in, went for all the ore refineries. You can see how many he's got. He's got quite a number here. But you can see they've also got a lot of ore, and now Cyan realises what's happening, and he's trying to bring some tanks in, but is it going to be enough? That's the question. Am I going to be able to get these yellow ore refineries down? You can see, I think there's another one left after this one, and then after I get all the ore refineries down, I'll of course go for the construction yard, and that will just completely neutralise Cyan. So yeah, we can see that construction yard now going down, and I think he sold it. So I don't know if he has a war factory, maybe a service depot possibly, but now we're going to go for that ore refinery. And now you see all the ore refineries are down, and that's big trouble for yellow, because you can see all his ore trucks are stopped. And I think that's possibly going to be yellow out of the game, because I can't see them having massive funds possibly. We'll have to wait and see. But you can see now Cyan is coming in with the tanks. Also yellow's bringing whatever tanks he has left just into the fight. I think he's still producing a few actually, but and you can see that green has now left the game, and now it's going to be well and truly over. Because they've got no defence on the right side of the map, and now the other two teams are going to be able to push into Cyan's base. I'm also going to be bringing some tanks up, and also my destroyers are going to be able to clear those destroyers from yellow. I don't think he's got any naval yards left. And you can see the middle of the map, our side of the map's well defended. We've got 3 Tesla coils there, and I can't see those MiGs being able to do too much damage. And now Cyan has left the game, and now it's yellow left, who hasn't got any. Well, he hasn't got any ore refineries, just using the last of his destroyers, and I do expect they'll sell up soon. So yeah, that was just. I mean, it was quite even most of the game, that game, and I just noticed at the end, actually, if this game keeps on going on, you can see our side of the map actually at the bottom, we have no ore at all, and it's just lucky that we had the control of those side islands, which just give us those extra resources that allow us to overpower the enemy. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed the video.